What's up, everybody? Yellow Turtle here with my co-host Beef. Welcome to another episode of the LUKSOfam podcast, brought to you by KEEZ. The LUKSOfam podcast is meant to be a short and informational show where we provide some takes on the latest LUKSO news in the space. Today, we will be discussing a LUKSO crossover boys club partnership and their New York Fashion Week private party they're throwing this week. And then some good news on some LUKSO staking options. But before we dive into all that, Beef, how are you today?
What up, what up? Pretty good. I had a really good weekend. A little dude got some Crocs. So, what up, Croc gang?
Nice.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, it's his first shoe. So that's fun.
Did he get any fancy giblets?
No, man, he would eat those things.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah, but other than that, just grilled up good food. I had some fresh corn. So I love fresh corn. Nothing like it. Great weekend overall. What about you?
Oh, yeah. Nice long weekend. Spent some time with some friends and family. Always a good time.
Awesome. All right, you want to dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so first on the list today is the LUKSO X Boys Club collab that they just announced, which is super sick. You want to kind of detail out some of the details on the partnership between them, LUKSO and Boys Club?
Yeah, so there hasn't been too much information released yet, besides that they're partnering together. As some of you may know, they threw a joint party together at ETHCC in Paris. It was the Anon Ball. It looked incredible. The level of fashion that was there was absolutely insane. So just like the standard that they have for the way that they carry themselves is very high, and it matches with the Lux ethos for sure, right? The kind of high fashion, bringing fashion to the blockchain and just creating these interesting vibes. But Boys Club is a really, really cool social collective that's aspiring to be a DAO. I don't think that they call themselves a DAO yet, the same way KEEZ doesn't really call themselves a DAO yet. They're working towards progressively decentralizing. But in the latest article written by Parker J. Pakarat, who is one of the founding members of Boys Club, she kind of defines what Boys Club is. And she says that Boys Club is a social collective bringing new voices to the new internet. We do this through media and events, notably our podcast, newsletters, and their physical zine. And their zine, I studied like the punk rock movement in college, and zines were a big part of that. They were kind of like underground magazines that people would create themselves with no real restriction on the type of content and the type of media that they put out there. So it allowed them to be kind of raw, raunchy, and say what they wanted to say. And for them to bring back this movement, I thought was a really, really cool thing. And then also to bring it back into Web3, where it can live on the blockchain as an NFT. It's verifiable that it's yours. And also it speaks to the creator and letting the creators find their natural way of wanting to communicate to their community. So Boys Club is a really, really interesting group. I think each podcast that they do, they start out by kind of redefining what they think Boys Club is and what it's morphing into. So they're very cognizant and aware of the fact that this space is changing all the time. Their community is changing all the time, and they're adapting to that. So I think that this partnership between Boys Club and LUKSO is a really, really positive one. I think it'll bring a community to this space that we haven't really seen yet in the LUKSO ecosystem, which is awesome. I know for a fact that KEEZ takes a lot of inspiration from the Boys Club. Just this past month, KEEZ opened up our doors and did a little bit of a quarterly call to address the community, update them as to where we're at, what we're thinking moving forward, etc., etc. And we took that idea from the Boys Club. They had their season 1 a few months ago, and now they just released an announcement saying that they'll be doing their season 2 at the end of this quarter. So they'll be opening up their doors to getting more core contributors in and growing their core team to do more cool things. So I'm just super excited. I'm glad this happened. I was a little surprised at first that this is one of like the first official big partnerships that LUKSO has done with another project, but I don't think they could have picked a better one. And then so Beef, after hearing all that, How do you think this collaboration leverages LUKSO's platform to redefine the boundaries of digital fashion? Because we know that Boys Club, their fashion sense is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll definitely be pushing boundaries besides fashion, but I think Luxo is the perfect platform for this type of thing. I think they put out a statement saying that it was obvious. I'm not quoting, but something like it was obvious that Luxo's building a platform made for creators. And I mean, when you go and you check out Boys Club and what they put out, I mean, they are creative types and they do things that push the boundaries. And you're right, you hit the nail on the head as far as that zine. I've checked it out. It's pretty sick. They did whatever they wanted. They made it theirs. What had me really like, oh my gosh, was 84,000 of the first edition of the zine were minted. 84,000. That's
Wow.
insane. And I don't know, I didn't know the specifics. Like I just kind of did a deep dive semi recently. But like could you after you minted this like request a physical copy or cuz you had mentioned something about physical like magazine. I thought maybe.
Yeah, no, they had a physical version, and their second version will also be physical as well. And I remember their marketing campaign was insane for it. They were just on the street passing it out. They just wanted to get their voice in the hands of the people, and they really did it, and they did it so well. So I love everything that they do there.
That's super sick. Boots on the ground, and then that's going to events and then handing out these zines would be so sick. I really like that take. I think it's insane that they got 84,000 of them so far. And having them pivot to Luxo to release their new edition of the zine, which I forget if either Luxo or Boys Club said that. I think it was Luxo actually that said that. I'm super hyped about that. It will be a great example of what you can do on Luxo. So other projects will take note for sure. Really excited overall about this collab. I think it'll be good for the space, and I like the events that they're doing. It's pretty sweet, like these dance club techno type deals that they've got going on. That's my vibe. I love it. Food, dancing, drinking. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, I'm really
So
excited about this zine. I think it'll be really interesting, and I think you're right. For them to launch it on Luxo, I think it'll inspire a lot of other projects. I think it'll get the idea of Luxo and the name of Luxo into a lot of people's minds that hadn't heard it before. Where Luxo is just a sister chain to Ethereum. We're not an Ethereum competitor. We're not an Ethereum killer. I think it's just people taking use of the awesome technology that we've built here. And I'm glad to see that Boys Club recognizes it and has recognized it for quite some time. I'm pretty sure they had Marjorie on for a little short podcast before, and they've been in the know about Luxo for quite some time. One of our core contributors, Sage, he's been in the Boys Club for probably close to 6 months, 8 months, or something like that. And he's always pink pilling people and getting Luxo in people's ears. So they've known about Luxo well before Sage joined as well. So it's awesome to see that this partnership has officially formed.
hell yeah, for sure. And I think they got something else cooking up in the oven right now too. I think we just got some fresh news. What's going on in NYC?
Yeah, so Luxo and Boys Club are taking New York City Fashion Week by storm, and they're hosting a private party in Midtown Manhattan called the Olde Money Party during Fashion Week. So I don't know what that entails. All I know is me and Sage did get on the list, and we will be attending. And yeah, it's this Thursday in Midtown, private event, free martinis, free pizza, dressing to the nines. It should be a lot of fun. Should be interesting. As a 23-year-old kind of degen in this space, it feels like I'm going to be out of place. It feels like I'm going to be a little out of place there this week. But you got to fake it till you make it. I'm going to put on some jewelry, paint my nails, stow my hair up in a bun, do all the things to look the part of the New York City Fashion Week.
Man, you gotta just rub it in, don't you? Me and Sage got on the list, and I'm over here like, oh man, that sounds so cool. I'm really happy for you guys, and yeah, I can't wait to see these outfits you guys are gonna put on. So you're gonna have to snap some pics and maybe put your clone heads on or something, vibe it out. But yeah, it's kind of weird how they're calling it old money or oldie money. That's how they're spelling it. Could be a bunch of different reasons. It could be like a shot at the current system, the fiat system. They're partying while the dollar continues its trajectory downwards. They really kind of dived into that in their first zine. So it could be that. I'm just kind of thinking, or it could be like a nod to their partnerships that like Luxo's entered into, like with established fashion brands and the owners and directors having old type money. I don't know. Could just be a reason to dress up like you're from the 1940s. I don't know. But yeah, it sounds awesome. Like celebrating internet culture and fashion in a private home in the West Village. Dude, this sounds sick. Martinis, pizza, DJ sets by Verite. I'm not really sure how to say that. And Reggie James, dressed to impress. Oh man, this is so cool. Yeah, I'm definitely can't wait until I can attend one of these happenings.
Yeah, it's nice because me and Sage are only about 3.5 hours out of the city, so it's not too bad of a drive. Where this was announced so late, like I could imagine it would be hard for a lot of people to travel to New York City that might have wanted to get on the list for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about our last topic of the day? DAppNode. DAppNode said something, came out with some news. They said they are partnering with LUKSO. So what did they say exactly?
Yeah, so DAppNode officially launched. We kind of knew it was coming. Fabian has alluded to this, and I think they've just actually tweeted at each other that DAppNode was interested in integrating LUKSO into their platform, and that LUKSO was interested in having them integrate it. I know Fabian said that he was going to run a DAppNode when it was officially launched, but essentially, DAppNode has integrated LUKSO technology, and they're able to provide their staking services for the LUKSO blockchain. So DAppNode is a staking, I guess the best term, again, non-technical here, so someone might roast me in the comments for what I'm saying, but they're a staking provider, air quotes around provider, in the sense that they provide people with the hardware and the software to easily run a node. So it's not like liquid staking where you're taking your licks or your ETH and locking it up, and then someone else is kind of doing all of the nitty gritty staking on their end. You're still doing the staking, but they have already integrated all of the software, so it's kind of just plug and play staking. So it still gives you full control, full access over your node, full access to the rewards, everything of that nature. If you already have hardware, you can just download their software, or you can buy the custom pink box, the pink Nook that's LUKSO branded, which are sick. I don't know if you've seen them yet, Beef, but man, I would get my hands on one of those. Unfortunately, I already have a Nook, so I'll be sticking with that one. But those things look really cool. And I think it's just a great opportunity for people to run nodes that were maybe a little less technically inclined. But one thing to note is that you're still running your own node. That means you still have to do the basic maintenance of making sure that you're online, making sure that you're connected to the Ethernet and your internet is stable, making sure that you're up and you're actually validating the blockchain, all of those things. But there's definitely less of a headache in the initial setup. And yeah, it just makes people's lives a lot easier. I know, like I said, I think Fabian said that he is going to be running a DAppNode as well.
Hell yeah. What makes it nice that DAppNode's releasing this, it's that now I'll be able to kind of sprinkle and distribute the methods in which I'm staking. So I'm gonna dabble in some liquid staking, and I'm gonna dabble in some DAppNode. The thing that differentiates them, which you kind of hit on, is responsibility. So like, do you want more responsibility, or do you want more of a hands off type process? More hands off is going to be your liquid type staking. And DAppNode, you are going to be responsible for making sure, like you'd said, that your internet is connected and that it's running. I know that they have like monitoring type alerts that you can have too. So you'll kind of have to think about that sort of thing and get like a backup UPS battery supply. You can kind of extrapolate that in as much as you want to make sure that your DApp node's always ready and going. But yeah, it's just differing responsibility. And I think having a little bit staked in different methods is safe, like safer, because you're more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like,
Diversified.
Diversified, exactly. Instead of having, not that I have this, but like 10K LUKSO on one DAppNode, you can do 5K on a DAppNode and then 5K liquid staking. That way, if anything were to happen, you've got two different setups. So that's something some people do just to practice account security. And I think it is a good idea to do that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really happy that they're entering our space. I haven't seen the LUKSO specific box. Have you?
I think I saw a picture, or maybe it came to me in a dream one day. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure,
was gonna
but
say, man, I was like, I've been my notifications are on. I've been waiting to buy this thing. I was like, how the hell did he's got secret insider information or something? What the heck? Oh man. All right. Yeah, I'm super hyped. Super hyped.
yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be nice for the people who are a little less technical to get the opportunity to stake and have their own node at home. Well, that pretty much wraps up all of the topics we had this week. Just a short show, not too much going on in the space this week, although there's a lot to keep up on. There was the pink pill last week, the wrap up where they covered some SEC and Gary Gensler information. Some great memes in that show you guys should check out. Always remember to like and subscribe to this channel. It helps us create these videos and have longevity in this show. So thank you guys so much for watching. Beef, you want to sign us off?
Yeah, for sure. Suck it, Gary. So as always, as always, remember none of this is financial advice. It's just a couple of dudes talking about what we love.